It's like you said earlier, when you're riding, the bike is naturally going to get hot, and the tanks do get hot, which is uncomfortable to ride when your legs are against anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that for me is the biggest issue throughout the summer is the blast that the intercooler gives you, and obviously it just comes out through the openings in the fairing, which is right where your legs are. Well, it depends on the bike. Some bikes are really good at deflecting the heat away from you, but most of the bikes I've owned, they just direct the heat directly at your thighs, directly at your legs. So that's always been the issue for me riding in the heat. It's always been that. Because the one part of your body that you can't really cool down is your legs. You know? I don't know. Like, I don't think any of my riding gear has ventilation holes for my legs. I do on my jacket.
Yeah, you have it across the back,
but
don't
not
you?
not on my leggings.
No,
so
I don't think. Anything I have is.
And again, once your legs get hot, there's nothing you can do to cool them down unless you start stripping off. So, I mean, that's why a lot of people get so tempted to ride in shorts. That's not something I do, but I mean, it's one of that's one of the things that a lot of people do. You see that a lot, people riding in shorts, because that's the only way they can keep their legs cool. Kind of stupid. Don't recommend it, but people do it anyway.
2019, there's a website you guys may be aware of called Visor Down, and they actually reported on a guy who, in a heat wave in Europe, went for a ride on his scooter in the nuddy. Nothing on whatsoever. There's a picture of it here. Completely naked.
I wish we could show you, but I think it's a bit explicit.
Yeah, but if you go to Visor Down, and it's called "This is not how to keep cool in Europe's heat wave," or even if you pull up their article, which is how to stay cool and safe while riding your motorcycle in hot conditions, it does link it there. We unfortunately can't risk showing that, but it does just say about how this guy decided that naked was the way forward. And I mean, he hasn't even got any pants on. He's that naked. So go and have a look at that if you like. But
so just I was just looking at in the chat to see what you were saying about how bikes could struggle in the heat, and I've just seen Mark with a comment here, and I totally sympathise with you here. Mark says, sorry to change subject, just stopped at the shop and a salesperson asked me to remove my helmet. I kindly refused, as you do only for her to say it's law and refuse to serve me. Complaint going in. Yeah, I get that as well. Whenever I go to a supermarket, whenever I go to the shops, they always ask me to take off my helmet. In some instances, they don't even bother, but see, I actually hate the fact that they insist on you taking your helmets off. And I don't know if you might not have ever seen this before, but do you remember there was a sign? We went to Morrison's. It was a Morrison's petrol station, I think, and there was a sign saying that motorcyclists were supposed to take off their helmets when fueling up. Yeah. What? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I totally sympathise with you, because that's one of those things that I've experienced before, and I've had arguments before with security and with staff, saying like, come on, look, it's an absolute pain trying to undo the clasps, trying to get the helmet off, put it back on again. It's just a nightmare. And I even said to them, look, I can give you my ID. If you want my ID, I'll give it to you, and then you can keep it till I go out the shop, so at least they know who I am. If they want to make sure I'm not stealing anything, but they still thought, oh no, they don't care. But
during COVID, didn't you sometimes wear your helmet in with your mask? You didn't have to take it off then, did you? I remember once or twice.
Well, I mean, that's the thing I'd say to them during COVID. If I went to the shops on my bike, I'd say, and they said about me taking my helmet off, I'd say, but it acts like a mask. It covers, but it doesn't, obviously, because I have my visor open. But it's just a way to try and get your own way in that.
Yeah.
But no, it's just some nonsense. I try and say to convince them, but
it's really it's sorry, Mark's latest comment. It's really nice how everyone has kind of gone and it's really interesting that everyone's gone, actually this happened to us as well.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, is it actually law? Is it law?
I don't think it is.
Shall I Google?
I don't think it is law.
Mr. Google's coming up. You carry on talking.
No,
I'm
I don't think so.
Is it illegal to wear?
Yeah, fidelity. Yeah, yeah. This has happened to me in quite a few places, in Tesco's, Morrison's, Asda. Basically, it depends on who you get at the front door. If the front door doesn't like you wearing a helmet, then they'll tell you about it. But that's basically, yeah. It depends, because I've been in more than one. I've been in the same shop more than once wearing my helmet, and one day they say to take it off, other days they don't. So I suppose it depends who's at the door.
So
yeah,
it's not the law. That jumped up little shop worker is the law. It's not. It is a per shop recommendation. Oh, it's a per shop thing.
Yep.
They can decide. It's their shop, their rules, but there is absolutely no.
Well, no,
rules.
it's not their rules. They can. It's not, but it doesn't make it against the law. Basically,
No, that's what I'm saying.
just
It's not
they
illegal,
can refuse
but-
to serve
No,
you, but that's about
That's
it.
what I'm saying. It's not illegal, but each shop can decide whether they want you to take their helmet off or not.
Nonsense.
They're saying that for some people it's a CCTV thing, and that's whatever. But
no, that's nonsense as well. You're wearing a helmet which is probably brightly coloured. You're the only person in the whole shop wearing this damn helmet. They probably have CCTV of you riding away, so they probably got your reg number anyway. So honestly, no, nonsense. Anyway, right, back on topic. 125 guy. They say air-cooled engines would have struggled. Yes, I forgot I did mention air-cooled engines, so yeah, well done for pointing that out. Liquid-cooled engines should have been okay on shorter rides. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's how much can a liquid cooler take? Because if the temperatures are reaching 100 degrees or 110 degrees, that's got to be the limits of the coolant, right? It just start boiling.
Well, I was going to say, what happens to coolant? Does it start evaporating
Yeah.
in intense heat?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the sensors are either. Like, are the I'm assuming the sensors are before the fluid actually reaches the radiator. But yeah, it's a bit weird when you see a radiator or you see the sensor reading 90 to 100 degrees or over 100 degrees Celsius, because that's the boiling point of water, and that's what coolant is. It's just water,
And you're
basically,
thinking,
with some
God.
antifreeze. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the antifreeze, I imagine, would increase the boiling point by a little bit, but not by a huge amount.
I have
wouldn't
no
have thought.
idea. This
So-
conversation is a little bit over my head.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd be curious to find that out. To be honest, yeah, we'll have to do a bit of research on that.